Yo. Welcome back to Tremonte and Friends Boxing. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get right into it. This was not a robbery. Ask me how I know. Because I bet on Kenny Sims Jr. When I say I bet, I don't mean like I wagered on him. But in my prediction, I didn't do a prediction video. But on Twitter, I bet that Kenny Sims Jr. would win and he would beat Oscar Duarte. And he didn't. It was not a robbery. It's not a robbery. I'll be very happy to see what y'all think and why y'all would call it a robbery. But it wasn't a robbery. It was a really, really good fight. One of the better fights of 2025, if I'm being honest. One of the better fights. It's very surprising that it was that competitive from both sides from that standpoint. Oscar Duarte reminds me of William Zepeda in a way. Very aggressive, basically always trying to move forward. Doesn't fare too well fighting backwards. That style of just constant movement forward and throwing a barrage of punches. It gave Sims trouble here and there. But Kenny did very well, man. I thought it was a fairly close fight. And close fights aren't a robbery. A robbery is, and this coming from me, I'm a Canelo fan, big fan. Triple G beat him the first fight. So when they gave it to, I was like, the first fight, I was like, nah, Canelo lost. And I bet on Canelo to win the fight, of course, obviously. And when I watched the fight, I remember I was at Wing House with my boys. And I had bet like $100 on Canelo. And he bet on Triple G. And I was like, nah, man, Canelo lost. Just like, honestly, he lost. Triple G won that fight. That to me is like a robbery. A close fight. And that wasn't a close fight to me. I thought it was pretty clear. I don't think Canelo got beat on, but I think he lost. Back to Kenny Sims versus Oscar Duarte. It was a fairly close fight. I think Oscar Duarte did a little bit more than Sims. Sims was doing well in the pocket. I think he was taking some unnecessary punches. He felt like he had to bang with Oscar Duarte when he didn't have to. He was on the ropes, probably a little too much for my liking. But he did well. If they would have called the fight like a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. If they would have gave it to Sims, I wouldn't have been mad because I thought he would win anyway. But when they gave it to Duarte, I'm like, I mean, that's fair. A lot of boxing fans and even analysts and historians think that close fights are robberies when they give it to somebody. And Oscar won, to me. Oscar won. Again, it's coming from somebody I predicted Sims would win the fight. And he lost the fight. He could have did a little bit more. He could have boxed more. He could have boxed more instead of feeling like I got to get in the trenches with him and bang. Because, sometimes the judges see things differently than what the fans see. So I understand his reasoning. But I want to see Sims back in the ring. I want to see who Duarte fights next. We'll see, though. We'll see. Really good fight, though. Really good fight. And then on Regis Prograis fought JoJo Diaz. Regis won the fight. He got clipped in the first round. I feel like he got clipped a couple of times, honestly, throughout the fight. He's getting older. He's been in a lot of bangers, a lot of fights. So is JoJo Diaz. It's funny they have the common opponent with Devin Haney. Devin Haney beat both of them. But they put on a great fight too. It was some, man, Oscar Duarte and Kenny Sims and Regis Prograis and JoJo Diaz put on some really good fights. Just back and forth fights. But Regis controlled the fight, the majority of the fight. You're not going to knock Regis out. I think Regis only lost to Catterall, Taylor, and Haney. And you're not going to knock him out. You can wobble him. You can knock him down. You're not going to knock him out. Regis' jab was on point tonight. I can tell that his legs, the best of his legs are behind him. And JoJo Diaz always comes out with like fire. He's going to fight. I think JoJo Diaz fought better I think Regis boxed better. And I seen Regis after the fight saying like what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go. I think he should rematch JoJo just because how competitive it was. People would, pay to see it. It's just we got to see more Regis. I want to see Regis fight again sooner. Because he said he was retiring after the last fight and he was going to do bare knuckle, and then he got back into boxing. I know how I'd be calling your name, man. I didn't like one of the scorecards though. One of the scorecards said 98, 92, and I'm like, I don't think it was like that. No, but I do think Regis won. I don't know where JoJo goes from here, but shout out to Regis, shout out to Oscar Duarte. I had picked Kenny Sims Jr. to win, and I picked JoJo Diaz to win. And I'm a man of my word. When I'm wrong, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong on both of my predictions. That happens. And I could have easily got on here and said, man, Kenny Sims won. It was a robbery. But I'm not that type of guy. He lost fair and square. And I thought JoJo Diaz fought really well, but I thought he lost as well. So, good night of boxing. Good night of boxing. I got to check the schedule to see like what's really happening next in August. We know what's happening in September, but I want some more fights before then. Y'all tell me what you think. Was it a robbery with Oscar and Kenny Sims? What y'all thought of the Regis Prograis JoJo Diaz fight? What y'all thought of the overall card? And y'all get back to me. Just like and subscribe to the channel. I will get with y'all soon. Peace.